among the most literate and among the most literate, the most educated of business executives and business leaders. The posturing of strategy notwithstanding. It paints a scenario how business leaders are even desperate to throw reputation, integrity, core values to the dogs for incredible balance sheets, for mouth-watering profits. Now, what is missing here? Is it leadership? Lack of leadership? Weak leadership? Failed strategy? Or what is it? What is missing? Will you place your fingers on? I'm trying to do so. Coming down to Nigeria, what went wrong with Cecilia Igbo and Osheni Pan? She was not a trained corporate person. What went wrong with Erastus Akimbola and Intercontinental Bank? They were well trained business executives. Was it lack of leadership training and leadership education? What was the problem? Was it lack of failure of strategy? Have we already identified the problem? How could leadership be the problem with the growing numbers of business leadership and management science faculties all over the place? What sort of training and education are these leaders receiving? What about the risky business leader pioneers listed in Forbes, now discovered to have become exceedingly wealthy through unwholesome practices? They know all the tricks in business management. They know all the tricks in leadership of corporations. And they are finger for skills, for unwholesome practices, for sharp practices. Let's look at what even Ibrahim said. That you can bypass the law. By bypassing the law, you don't commit an offense. But what does he say? He says of a wicked conscience. He speaks of a wicked conscience. To bypass the law to enrich yourself, sweat your balance sheet at the detriment of workers and host communities. And you remember these problems that corporations, leaders in enterprise create snowballed into insurgency because it's incremental. It's not one day that the misbehavior of a corporate leader, leads to crisis in society. No. People working are not paid. Some are not paid. They go hungry. Some big children that look at their parents and say you got it wrong, and they go the wrong way because of what they are seeing. Now, let me talk about the indigent spirit because, I was warned about time. This one I'm talking from is just 1/3 of the entire package. The human conscience is the interior engine that wants everyone to refrain from unbecoming conduct, to do well and avoid evil. It is what has been mentioned earlier as the indigent spirit which turns humans into beasts if it is not repeatedly tamed and suppressed. It is what manifests in human actions as bad character, which requires rigorous moral character training to suppress. It is developed positively by repeated instructions and the exemplary conduct of instructors who could be parents, community leaders, seniors, and teachers. It is not a task. It is not a task to be accomplished haphazardly and inconsistently by just any kind of saying and doing. It is accomplished by consistent and repeated instructions and actions when the spirit of the learner is what? Young, innocent, and uncommitted. That is the time to do it. It's not when somebody comes to the university, he has learned how to do pickpocket. They can only perfect the act so that you can catch it. All the ethics codes in the university can do nothing to help anybody. That is the truth. Because what? Habit has been formed in the wrong direction. Now look at what we are told. It is this that is carried over, this indigent spirit that is contained, is what is carried over when humans grow up to assume positions of leadership. And even when humans assume positions of leadership, authority and responsibility, there is a need for continuous training, evaluation, and evaluation, assuming that we have even imbibed a culture of the right social conduct from infancy. You don't stop at secondary school. It continues. If you don't continue, look at the story now. If a competent person does not keep retraining himself, you become what? Incompetent. It is because of this that organizations keep training and retraining people in every sector of human endeavor, human activity. The only problem is that they did not get them young. So if they did not get them young, they are building on no foundation. After we listen and clap now, the most rigorous morality is accepted by everyone when there is no question of putting it into practice. No, if you say stealing is bad, there's nobody who say, what are you talking? Stealing is very good. You will agree that it's bad. But when you close the door, he steals. What is happening? Is it devil? Some people say devil. It's not. There's something that we want to put there that will not put. Go to Proverbs. Read the whole of Proverbs. Then read Plato's Republic. I'm not taking one literature so that you not say we are now returning to religion. Look at the prescriptions of Plato, the rigorous training of the guy. Look at Aristotle's Nicomachean Ethics that they still use in Oxford to teach a program called PPE, Philosophy, Politics, and Economics. That is the philosophy component of the course. They give you. You write about 20 or 30 papers on it. Are you going to finish everything that is moral? And if you have a foundation, you maybe fortify it at that level. But if you didn't have any foundation, you master how to answer the question smart, and then go and do havoc later. So, what am I driving at? It's difficult. I don't know whether I can convince anybody. The problem is not leadership. Every one of us, including me, used to say it. We are blaming God. The wrong culprit. Nobody is what he doesn't have. And it's not deliberate. You grow into it. It is normal. You play smart. You take the glory. When you are smart others. And as smart others mean that the family may go into trouble. The breadwinner may die. Some of the children who were prepared to go to good schools will become beggars. From there, some will become robbers. You don't know who will attack first. We are not thinking in the broad concept of humanity. If we are, those are the things to put into people. So that when they become leaders of family, they handle their family with care, with empathy. If they become leaders of local community, they see that the resources for everybody. The greed in human nature, you can't remove it after 18. If I have taken greed, the dose of greed, it will be in my chemistry. University education will do nothing. So that is why I'm saying it is we that will take the battle to the primary and secondary school, because those there cannot do it. We are the receiving end now. Shebi, they are saying that we are graduating inferior people that are not competent, people that are morally, impoverished. They accuse universities. How can you accuse of people who cannot even make correct sentences? Do you learn writer grammar in university? Once you miss it in primary and secondary school, there's nothing the university can do for you. Give it a go, and all the can do nothing for you. They can only give you a mechanical way of writing so that you can pass, get 40% or something. Once you get it wrong at that level. So it's not only moral character, even normal learning. If you don't get it right, it's very difficult. But we study mathematics rigorously. We study language. We study geography rigorously. And look at the trouble we put to become experts in geography. Do we put it in learning how to be human? We don't. We take it for granted. When I said, don't steal, please don't steal. Stealing is bad. Don't cheat. And we take for granted that will sink. When they get to school, some other children are stealing their pencil, stealing their books. After they have received passion from you a couple of times, they say, if I go home without my book or my pencil, that is going to be me. So he now tries to steal another pencil to replace what was stolen from him. Now a decently brought up child from family will join the bad one. That is why what the family does is to lay a little foundation. It is the state and the school that will carry on. You give assignments every day. Like they give assignment mathematics, they bring it to us. This mathematics is too strong for me. My knowledge is fast fading mathematics. We call somebody who can do better. Are you to coach them? But you know that your child has brought a problem on mathematics at home. He has brought a problem on political science at home, or brighter grammar. He has brought all these things at home. I don't know whether you get it. If we start teaching moral character, that's how they will be bringing a friend. Like the parents who beat traffic lights, and you have done so, and the children were watching you. Don't you now see that if we teach them, they will become a moderating influence for our own people as adults? You are driving when your parents are brought home a homework that says reading traffic light is irresponsible, and you have done so. You won't do it again. You have helped to solve that problem. I don't know whether you get it. Because people are saying that there is a thought order. We go from primary now, and when do we get there? The journey of 1,000,000 miles. Do you start with 1,000 miles? You start with one step. And once society takes up the responsibility, it will be a change, as they say. Because gradually, it will not only reform the youth, it will reform the adults. When my friend telling me that this thing you are doing is illegal, it's irresponsible, I who should be a role model. I don't know whether you understand. So, yes, somebody is saying crime. You see, crime is a very dangerous thing. The last part is actually to say, all of these things we are saying now, how do we get it done? Now, the methodology of research, the framework, the literature, the literature in this area, apart from the one I cited, I now provided select bibliography, talking about teaching character, so that people will know that I'm not saying something that is novel. I'm not saying something that other people have not done. I'm saying something that we have neglected to do. And I took this matter to Ondo State, and I met the governor, the current governor. When we finished talking, the man said, but we have it in DON. DON is development agenda of Western Nigeria. But how can we now implement of this by the lecture, and I think I want to thank you for your attention, and I also hope that you go through the lecture at your spare time so that we can all join in this business of asking everybody to do the right thing. It's too late for us. It's too late for us, I'm telling you. But we can be redeemed if our children start coming home to say, Daddy, this one you are wearing a shoe like this. They don't do it anymore. So anytime you come to my school, I will hide because my colleagues will be laughing at me. They will help in reforming us gradually. And if we get good state structure, we also punish evildoers so that our children will see that this is not the way to go. At the moment, we're not doing that now. If you join a big man, they say you are a great guy. We're not doing that. So many things are wrong. But the way to begin, we are teachers. Are you following? We can't carry a gun and begin to shoot people that they are not doing the right thing. Let us do our own bit and keep telling them that this is the way to go. Thank you for your attention.
Please, we can do better than that. We can do better than that. Thank you very much. That's very topical. Before we go to the last item of the program, our time is fast spent. I want to recognize the presence of my friends from the press, Mr. Wahab Additional from Vanguard newspaper, Mr. Gab DK from the Sun newspaper, Mrs. Uche Nike from This Day newspaper. I know it wasn't easy for you to be here. Thank you, Mrs. Uche Nike. I want to recognize Professor Akinyele, who was with us. Professor Wagbara is sitting somewhere there. Professor Austin Wagbara of the Department of English, thank you. Professor Victor Ariole, please let's give them a round of applause. Professor Shidoze Okoro, sitting behind, thank you. Professor Ikuzubo. Professor Osas Simiri. Professor Ezewanebe. Professor Douglas Anele. Professor Chindi Madwagu, Director of Confucius Institute. Professor Falaye, who is yet to give me 1 million from the 150 million euros. And my director, the one I work directly under, she just left now, Professor Grace Otiwa. We want to thank all of us for honoring our institution. And I invite, where's Dr. Obiwagu? Okay, and I invite Dr. Obiwagu, the chairman of the planning committee, to give the vote of thanks.
Thank you, RMC. We spent quite some time. We promised everybody that, God willing, we'll leave here by 1 p.m. And it's 1, past 1. The Vice Chancellor, ably represented by the DVC Academics and Research, Professor Familoni, the librarian, she was here with us, Dr. Zayed, the Dean of Arts, Professor Funke Adeboye, our own lecturer, distinguished Professor Jimuna, the Dean of School of Postgraduate School, Professor Labi Shone. Welcome, sir. Director, Program, Director of Quality Assurance, our own HOD is the Head of Department of Creative Arts, Professor Zewane Babe, HOD English, represented by Dr. Deli, HOD European Languages and Integration Studies, HOD History, Professor David Awara, HOD Linguistics, African and Asian Studies, HOD Philosophy, and HOD Religion. You're welcome, sirs. The guests of our guest lecturer, Mrs. Una, you're welcome. Welcome our own senior advocate and the former head of FCE. You're welcome, sirs. Back to made our day. Ladies and gentlemen, I also recognize our own professors in the faculty, so many of them present. We've had a long day, but the day has been enriching, very rich. I have benefited. Of course, our country is presently at the crossroads, but with what he has told us today, I'm sure we came in, everybody saying leadership, but he has told us the other side of the story that involves all of us. My dear man, this couldn't have been possible without you. I understand the extent you've gone. Our distinguished lecturer who made all of this possible, we are most grateful, sir. We have learned. And we can tell you we'll take this home. I also want to thank the next person. Just to inform you, we have another distinguished professor, Professor Ayode Olukoju. I'm sure, sir, you've collected the baton because we'll be having you here very soon. Thank you. My job is very simple, just to say thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much indeed. May God bless us all and grant us safe journeys as we live here. Thank you very much. This is the time for group photographs.
Yeah, I think we can use this place. Very nice. The background is beautiful. You can come. Maybe we should just stay with the professor's guest first. Not take with the guest. Okay, but then the president. Who then that can join us. Yeah.
Yes, I can.
All our HODs and our professors will join after lunch. Yes, this picture will not be complete without the. Please, all professors, please. All professors. And the head of the flag thanks.
My dean, sir.
Okay, I guess it's standing in for